The following is a production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
Touchdown Auburn! Zakoby McClain!
game
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow!
lives. And welcome inside Xtra Point here on WEGL 911 and WEGLFM.com. Hello, everybody. Jared Dillard, your handsome, beautiful, stunning, award-winning, talented, did I mention beautiful host. And joining me, as always, wherever it may be, is Davis Carroll, Jacob Hillman, and Jack Hart. Davis, we'll start with you first. Looking very snazzy and snug in that jacket. How you doing this morning?
Doing all right. Got a lot of homework, and I was duped into this episode today, Jared.
You weren't okay. Who were you duped by?
You.
Himself.
And myself.
No. How did that happen? How did you end up on this show? Explain to me what happened.
Because Monday you texted me and said, "Can you be on the show?" I was like, "Okay," and I assumed that on Wednesday you'd also need me, so I went ahead and asked.
And what did I say? What's one thing I said?
You said yes.
And you never trust me. When you ask me to do something, I will always say yes.
I'm just too trusting of a guy.
You are. And eventually, I'll stab you in the back. Jacob, how about you? How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Like Jack, I can clearly tell I am ready for 11 o'clock whenever the Braves lose to the Reds.
Jack, how about you? Braves gear decked out. You're ready for this game in, for what us is less than 3 hours.
That's right. You may have noticed that I also erroneously wore this yesterday, not knowing the schedule of games. But
I just assumed you were happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Playoff baseball. I had a blast watching it yesterday. Just flipping between the four games that were on, they all seemed to overlap in a way that was pretty interesting. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with double that today, with all 8 playoff games going on in some form or another from as you mentioned 11 a.m. our time here in God's time zone all the way over to the West Coast, and the Brewers game as the nightcap. So it'll be unprecedented. I don't think for numerous reasons. I think this is the first time there's ever been 8 playoff games on the same day.
8 playoff games for Major League Baseball, on top of being, I guess, nightcapped by the Dodgers over on the West Coast, but also the Lakers and the Heat start the NBA Finals tonight. That's going to be a fun one as LeBron squares off with Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Some news around the world, I guess, that we'll get into. First, we'll talk about the MLB playoffs, what happened last night or yesterday, and then we'll talk about what's going to happen today. Obviously, over in the NFL, the big news is that the Titans, what's going to happen with them, as they had a couple of COVID cases on the team. It seems like for right now, the NFL has it in control. There doesn't seem to be any panic alarms, I guess, yet. And some other NFL news that's going on over there, and then we'll head over to the NBA, where we'll talk about that finals matchup between the Heat and the Lakers. But let's first turn to Major League Baseball and the games that were played last night. First, Jack, I just want to say beautiful graphic made on the Weagle Twitter at Weagle_AU, putting down all of our picks in the first round of the Xtra Point playoff gauntlet.
We got some heat for that on one of those picks. Us collectively.
We did get heat.
Looks good so far.
It looks good so far. And Davis, I saw you like I rarely tweet. I rarely do anything on Twitter or social media. But
Jared tweets so rarely that I got a notification that Jared had just tweeted.
But when I do, it's something special. So just remember, I don't forget this stuff. So
You're an
I'll
elephant.
I'll see. Don't call me an elephant.
An elephant never forgets, Jared.
I ain't no elephant. I hate elephants. I hate them around Thanksgiving every
All right,
single year.
okay, okay.
All
Golly.
right,
That's the
they
only
gonna get
time you
that
hate them,
smoke.
though, since they're your second favorite team.
So
Hey,
that's
not
true.
for long, not for long. When I
So if
announce
you
my
went
new
to like,
school,
if you went to a place with you went to a zoo and there's an elephant there, you just like,
they gonna get the smoke.
you just glare at it, be like, I hate you.
Yeah, why
It
wouldn't I?
feels nice to you.
Elephants, rays. What other animals do I subconsciously hate these
You
days
talking about
now?
manta rays? You don't like manta rays?
Whichever one got the homie Steve Irwin is the one I hate.
That's a stingray.
Yeah, they gonna get the smoke too. He got
All right, that's
shooters
fair.
out there. I didn't forget.
Where you got shooters at? Where stingrays are, Jared?
Just you wait.
All right.
The four games yesterday, Astros, Twins. The Twins just blew it. Okay, I know I picked the Astros to win that series, but the Twins just blew that game in the ninth inning. And Astros get game one. And I keep forgetting this is a 3-game series, so your back is already against the wall now, being the Twins.
Wins without Donaldson in that series as well.
Yeah. Uh, my new favorite series to watch today, along with the Yankees and the Cardinals, White Sox and Athletics. So White Sox take a 1-0 series lead, looking to end that one, hopefully very quickly.
I think we'd be
Rays.
we'd be remiss if we did not mention that is the Twins' 17th consecutive postseason loss, dating all the way back to 2004. So,
Ouch.
if the Braves were sad enough not winning a series or a game one since 2001, the Twins have not won a game in
Base-
17 straight tries.
Baseball has the weirdest like playoff droughts.
They
Like the
really do.
Mariners, I think is it the Pirates who has not won a series since like the 70s, or someone there's someone that hasn't won something since the 70s because it's the Marlins with Mariners with the longest streak.
Right. And the Marlins just ended theirs with an asterisk, of course.
Yeah,
Uh, Other notable games happening: the Rays taking down the Blue Jays, and then obviously the Yankees absolutely crushing the Indians. No corner, uh, no hope. Yankees just dominating the Indians.
Against probably the best pitcher in the AL, absolutely shelled him.
Yeah. So what's the reactions from the first day of the the AL wild card series that you guys saw?
I think
a
you
lot of
mentioned, Jared, that with a 3-game series, if you lose game one, you are immediately in crunch time.
Yeah.
Your back's against the wall. I mean, you now have to win 2 games in a row, and with the other team just having to win one. And I mean, we haven't seen this dynamic ever. I mean, we've never seen a 3-game series in playoff baseball before. So the managerial changes that are going to have to be made in these game twos, I mean, they're going to have to pull up all the stops because it's effectively your old fashioned wild card game, win or go home, 9 innings to decide. So it'll be very interesting, and it gives such an advantage to the team that's already up 1-0 because they can have their whole roster and bullpen at their disposal because if they win, then that's it. But the team that's down 1-0 is they have to pull out all the stops to win because it's win or go home for them. But then they have to think about the game the next day. So if you get down 1-0, your hill becomes exponentially higher to climb, especially with this 3-game format.
Okay.
I mean,
I just go ahead, Jacob.
I was gonna say I think it's a lot of what you should expect in a 3-game series because the better team is probably going to come out on top because they're going to be aggressive and they're not going to hold back like maybe in a 5 or 7-game series when you're trying to conserve arms and not use up every bit of your offensive firepower. So I think these 3-game series really show who the better teams are. The Yankees, I don't think their record indicates how good they are this year, and it showed last night when they dismantled the Indians. The Astros are probably a little bit better than what their record shows as well. and the Twins are obviously one of those teams in the postseason that just doesn't show up. And then the White Sox, lately, they haven't been that great, but throughout the season, they have been great. So I think that's what the 3-game series does.
I just want to point out that the last time the Twins won a playoff game was October 5th, 2004. It's over 15 years ago. What happened on October 5th, 2004? 7-time All-Star and 6-time NBA World Champion Scottie Pippen retired from the NBA. That was in 2004. This one did not age well. Tiger Woods got married on that day.
Don't tell Jacob that.
Tiger Woods got married at the Sandy Lane Resort in St. James, Barbados. So, good for him. And Rodney Dangerfield passed away on that day. That's how long ago this was. That's how long ago that playoff series was. Scottie Pippen was, for at least an hour into that day, still in the NBA. Seems long ago.
I was 3 when that happened.
Were you really?
Jared was
19,
chilling in high
16
school.
years ago.
Yeah. 2004, I was 9 in 2004. Almost.
Wow.
No, I was about to turn 9. I was still 8 if we're talking about October. Okay, that doesn't seem as bad now. I mean, 8 to 3. Yeah, I mean that seems about right.
You're 5 years older than me.
Yeah, I mean that seems about right.
Was that chain Jared back in the day?
The Jared that wore the chain in his kindergarten photo? Nah.
You didn't wear a chain the next few years?
Nah, that Jared, he was too cool for school. So for today's games, obviously we know that the Reds and the Braves play at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. And then the games, I mean, I do like this. They're stacked 1 hour pretty much behind each other. So after you get Reds and Braves kicking off, then you have Astros Twins at all times Eastern. At 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, you have Marlins and Cubs as the Marlins try to make their way back to the World Series because they have everybody right where they want them. At 3 o'clock, you have White Sox Athletics. 4 o'clock, Blue Jays Rays. 5 o'clock, God help me, the Cardinals at the Padres. And then they go 7 o'clock, Yankees Indians. And then 10 o'clock, Brewers Dodgers. So it's gonna be a fun time today in Major League Baseball. I do wanna take a look at our picks that we made, and Jacob, I gotta wonder, what's Reds in 2?
Don't trust the Braves. Don't trust them. And also the Reds are good. I've got them going to the championship series because...
So it was you who did that?
Yes, because...
Yesterday on the show, we were trying to figure out who will put the Reds in the NLCS.
The Reds have the pitching, in my opinion, and I don't know. I don't know if the Braves offense is gonna be. I think the Braves offense is enough, but I don't know if the other side of the equation will be able to keep the Braves offense in the game. The bullpen's been great, but I just don't know about the starting pitching.
For
the question all year.
For the Braves and the Reds, it looks like, well, you got to face Bauer, so that's already tough. Not gonna lie. And I mean, I don't know anything about the Braves starting pitching, but I have heard that it's been, I guess the best word I can use is streaky. I guess, if that's the right word at all.
No,
is it just not there at all?
Max Fried is good. He's a great ace, but he's got to go up against Bauer. So, I think game one's kind of a must-win for the Braves because of that. And then after that, Jack, I don't even know who's starting game 2. I know game 3 is Kyle Wright.
Game two was undecided as of yesterday.
So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, I guess game 2 really decides what happens in game 1, huh?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they might just take a pin day in game 2.
I mean, that's smart. I mean, I don't know how fast they're turning around these series. I mean, these are short 3-game series. And I don't know when the divisional rounds pick up, but you want to make sure that I guess you're at your tippy top best, especially if your pitching's a little bit on the shaky side. So that goes for the Braves. It goes for the Cardinals, which I know the Cardinals are shaky at best. And they got to take on the Padres. And I don't know anything about the Padres, but I guess should I hold out hope that the Cardinals can win this series, or should I just go ahead and accept that they're going to lose? Tell me. Just give it to me straight, Doc. What is it?
They can win.
I mean,
But
with
I
a
don't think they
sample
will.
size with a sample size as small as this, it's more possible than ever. I think it's easier to sneak away with a 3-game series than it is to win 1 game or 5 games. Just from the way that baseball is quirky, I think that it's easy to steal 2 of 3 from a from a team that you are vastly inferior to in terms of playoff potential and talent, just as a result of this format. Especially, I mean, we are so close by record, and you're having to deal with. I mean, you have talent, and then Cardinals are. The X factor here is that the Cardinals are notoriously lucky in the postseason. So,
Heck
I
yeah.
don't know. We could see a couple double baggers down the line that get the Cardinals in, and then Hyun Kim having a out of nowhere special performance today on the mound. So it could happen, but I mean, out of all these playoff series, between this one and the Los Angeles one, I'm the most confident in.
Yeah, we have not played not the Brewers. We have not played the Padres this season, obviously because of a reduced schedule. But the Cardinals have a very hard time of winning, having a winning streak in general. They never could get out to 3 games above 500 throughout the whole season. They got to 2, and they would just lose in the most weird fashions that you could possibly imagine. But I mean, I don't gotta tell you guys, Cardinals playoff voodoo is real. Uh, so hopefully, it'll kick into high gear today. At least get in game 1, or so I hope. Is there anything else in baseball, Davis? Who's your favorite team now again? Is it the A's?
Slam Diego.
Oh, Slam.
Alex is the A's.
Screw you then. Uh, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in baseball. Is there anything else in baseball before we head off somewhere else?
I have a question, Jared.
What's up? I can answer.
What you got against the Padres, man?
You're playing my team today. Other than that, I mean, I don't really care for the Padres. I do know that once upon a time, it's story time.
Gosh, I shouldn't have asked anything.
No, this is actually a funny story. Obviously, my father's in the Navy, so one time he told us about a time where
Go Army.
Ah, shut up. One time he told me about a story about how he and his Navy buddies went to a Padres game, and I guess the Padres. I don't know I don't know what their mascot is. I assume it looks weird, but there was a mascot at this game. Remember, this is back in the 70s, 80s, and they went to a Padres game, free tickets from the Navy, whatever. And I guess at some point, the mascot was crowd surfing, and they got to them, and then they were like, huh, "Let's drop them," and they dropped them on the ground. So that happened. That's the only story that I have about the Padres. They they just got the mascot and dropped him.
Why? I don't think I've heard anyone say, "Let's drop a mascot that's crowd surfing."
I mean, look, if you don't care about them, drop them.
Was it the chicken or like the father, or the monk?
What, Davis? What the hell are you talking about?
Their mascots
Fryer.
are either like the fry or the chicken.
I don't know what you're talking about. They just dropped a mascot. I don't know which one it was. I just know that they dropped one of them. That's the only connection that I have to the Padres that's worth mentioning.
Chicken looks hilarious. I hope it was a chicken.
That was the chicken too.
So that's the only connection. Any other questions before?
Wait, the Padres have an Anchorman race instead of a hot dog race.
An Anchorman race, like
You know how
the
the-
movie Anchorman.
Yeah. They have the 4 characters from Anchorman that race around the outfield instead of
Is
Yeah, hot
Anchorman
dog.
set in San Diego or something?
It is.
Oh.
Did you remember? Did you remember Good
I
Morning
haven't
San
seen
Diego?
Anchorman in like 5 years.
How old are you?
Yeah,
I'm
even
19.
even I knew that. Come on.
Yeah,
I,
Jack.
and I don't even watch movies. There you go. So,
I
anything
think
else in
yeah.
baseball,
I think
Jack?
baseball. The I guess I shouldn't be predicting games anymore because what I thought was going to be a pitcher's duel in Cleveland last night was an absolute air raid for the Yankees offense.
It was a duel for the first couple of pitches. Yeah, that going.
Yeah, but the Yanks jumped out 3-0 and never looked back. Unfortunately, the the Rays game was also a very hotly contested match. That one was 1-0 all the way into the eighth when there was a 2-run shot in the bottom of the eighth inning to make it 3-0 Blue Jays. I think they ended up winning 3-1. And then, as you mentioned, in Minnesota had a 1-0 lead for a long time until Houston tied it in the seventh and then blew it open in the top of the ninth. So the woes continue for Minnesota as it's win or go home for them today.
It is win or go home. I'll go ahead and answer. I'll go ahead and ask this question. After seeing what we saw last night or yesterday, do the Twins win a game in the playoffs in 2020? Is that gonna happen?
No.
Who's starting? I'm gonna see who's starting.
I just think
Astros in 2.
I just think it's funny. So probably not. I think I put Astros in 3, but I assumed the Twins would win a game after yesterday. I mean, they played well up until that happened in the ninth. It was a
Right.
good game up until then.
Jose Barrios is starting for Minnesota. Houston's still undecided, which worries me a little bit. I feel like the way that this Minnesota offense works, if you're not sending out your best guy, which they did yesterday with Greinke, so good on them. They can cause trouble for you in a really quick fashion. So, depending on the starting pitcher for the Astros today, I think that the likes of Cruz and Rosario can really put an offensive explosion together, which I was surprised didn't happen yesterday when the Astros relievers came in, is that the offense didn't pick up for Minnesota. So if they don't find their bats today, obviously that's game set match, and Twins will have to wait another year to win a playoff game. So hopefully they can get it done just for the sake of drama and the sake of the Astros getting eliminated.
We'll see what happens in baseball. First game is at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, just 3 hours away, or less than 3 hours
Yep,
away.
yep, yep.
So hopefully, get your rally cap on, get your rally cap hat on for the Braves as they take on the Reds. Let's move over to the NFL. We'll go ahead and jump into the NFL, and the biggest news coming from yesterday was the Tennessee Titans was unfortunately the team to draw the straw. To be the first team to have some positive COVID tests during the season, as 3 players and 5 personnel tested positive for the virus. There's not been any updates so far this morning, I believe, on what's going on with the Titans, other than I'm sure that they're testing and their facility they're closed down until Saturday. Uh, Unfortunately for the Titans themselves, they have a game on Sunday where they host the Steelers. So we're looking at a situation where the Titans will not be able to have a regular schedule up until Saturday, where then they have to get ready to face Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh, we do know the NFL does have contingency plans in place where they could possibly move to Monday Night Football. Yeah, there we go. And
Yo.
for the Vikings, who played the Titans, they canceled team activities yesterday, but they're going to be testing, and I think that the plan is hopefully they don't have to close down for very long, that they can get back going in 24 to 48 hours as long as things are looking on the up and up. So it's mostly the Titans that have been affected by this. And Roger Goodell said it like, this is not going to be surprising, or this wasn't surprising. This was going to happen. We just got to put the plan in place now. And hopefully to avoid a lot of, to avoid a Cardinals-like situation, which it would not be as bad as the Cardinals, but if what a Cardinals-like situation, you don't want to try to reschedule football games because that's a lot harder than baseball. So what is the initial thoughts on the Titans, and how do you see this kind of thing shaking out? Should they even play on Sunday? And I say Sunday, saying that do they have the time to prepare to get ready and actually put on a good product? I mean, these are athletes; they should be, but I feel like it's gonna
Yeah,
be weird.
I think it's just it's
That's like it
interesting.
sucks for them.
It happens early enough in the week where I think you can get pretty accurate testing on everyone else that they came in contact with. So you can either not play those based off play those that came in contact with the positive test, or you can test them several times between now and Sunday and make that decision to let them play or not. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's the most dangerous thing to not let them play. Like I said, if you have rapid testing, you can get them tested. You know if they're negative or not, because I feel like this period between, I guess, Sunday and next Sunday is enough to, you know, to do that. But we kind of we kind of expected this to happen because there's obviously not a bubble for the NFL, so we knew kind of someone was gonna have a breakout, and it was the Titans, and the Titans first. And I guess it's I guess we'll see what happens elsewhere, or how the. I'm interested to see how this affects down the road if they do not play on Sunday.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal because the Titans are leading the AFC South. They're one game up on the Colts, and you kind of just wonder what happens if. I mean, thankfully this isn't a division game. If it's a division game, it's a whole different story. But what happens if the Titans do play one less game, and there is, I guess, some sort of tie breaking scenario uh, that they have to go into and stuff like that, and you get into all that kind of nonsense. But I guess we'll see. Jack, do you have any words about the Titans and their current situation?
I think as far as how far we've gotten with rapid testing, I think the solution has become a lot easier. We understand the situation a lot better than we did back at the beginning of baseball season. So I don't see why you can't just quarantine the players exposed and continue to contact trace everyone until the negative tests roll in. It's just a matter of if that's on Saturday or this afternoon. So, depending on when the Titans become aware that the situation has alleviated itself and it hasn't gotten out of control, I do. I mean, I can see definitely the NFL flexing into Monday Night Football, even if they're clear to go on Sunday, just because I don't know. There's entertainment value to that. People enjoy a doubleheader on Monday night. There's a lot of reasons to put them on Monday night just out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even know who the Monday night game is, but I gotta assume that an undefeated Steelers, undefeated Titans team is
Oh, it's Falcons Packers.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
kick them off. Kick them
Those,
off.
those ratings might actually be pretty decent because I think people want to see what's going on with these Falcons. I'm watching that game only for the laughs of it.
I just hope they blow another lead.
I mean, yeah, that's the whole point. I want to see Falcons Twitter just implode on itself again, and just Dan Quinn, we coming for you. Then we knocking on his door. But we do have some good news for Thursday Night Football, as everybody's favorite quarterback, Brett Ripon, will be playing
You
for
had
the
to check
Denver
that.
Broncos. Yeah, I had to check that because at this point I just don't even know. So Drew Lock went down. He's hurt. He won't be back for another couple of weeks. Then Jeff Driscoll got pulled. So now we're down to Brett Ripken. They do have Blake Bortles, but Broncos head coach said that it is unlikely, or just it just wasn't. It just doesn't make much sense for Blake Bortles to just pop into the system and he's ready to go. So he's not ready at all. So your Thursday Night Football showdown between the winless Broncos and the winless Jets will be Sam Darnold versus Boise State standout, I guess, Brett Ripken, as Oh boy, that's gonna be a fun one, ain't it? With Adam Gates' job on the line.
He's
This is
getting fired.
this
They're
is
gonna throw the
like
game.
this is like UFC like prelims type stuff that we have going on right now. Is what Thursday Night Football starting to feel like. This isn't the undercard. This is below. This is in the basement card that we're dealing with Thursday Night Football. But I guess we'll see what happens when the Broncos and the Jets score off on Thursday Night Football. Is there any other big news in the NFL that happened yesterday?
No.
I mean, other than the Titans news kind of dominated the airways. Other than that, it seems like everything.
Or I mean, Patrick Mahomes is expecting, if that counts.
Heck
It's
yeah.
gonna be Patrick Mahomes the fourth now.
Is he the third?
Yeah, he's
I
the
can't
third.
remember.
I think he is at least, because his dad's Pat Mahomes too.
I thought he was the second, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
Who cares?
Godwin's probably going to be out on
Yeah.
Sunday versus the Chargers for Tampa Bay.
Can I wait? Hold on, I gotta bring something up because I'm about to. I saw this yesterday,
Uh-oh.
and I couldn't believe what I saw.
Mm.
So I don't.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch a lot of sports talk TV, like Cowherd or Stephen A. Smith or First Take or whatever.
Jared, I do not blame you.
I don't watch a lot of
I like
that.
Stephen A.
Or-
Like, don't get me wrong. I like this. I like the sound bits, right? Where I just go on and Stephen A. just yelling something stupid, and I just laugh at it because it's funny, right?
I mean, you don't realize those things are on for all day.
Exactly.
Like, there's no sports during the day, so ESPN just has to roll out two doofuses behind a desk for 4 hours.
But the TV was on. I walked past. I was having such a good day. We were getting ready to barbecue. We were barbecuing for the debate last night, which we're not going to talk about. I don't talk about that at all. None of us do. We were
You're doing what?
we were barbecuing. Yes, we were barbecuing.
Barbecuing.
We were
Interesting.
barbecuing. Don't maybe bring out that Twitter poll, Jacob. All right, we were barbecuing. All right, ribs, everything. And I was walking past the TV. I was so happy.
Ribs is barbecue.
It was at home. What you mean?
That's not the argument.
Wait,
The definition is based off what food you cook, and you were cooking barbecue, so it was a barbecue.
okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave that alone.
That was the whole.
I'm gonna
You
be
should remember that argument.
No,
No, he shouldn't. Jared
I
doesn't
don't.
remember. For a man who just said he never forgets anything, he forgets everything.
Yeah. I don't. We would have to go. We have to find the episode that happened and just go back and listen to it because I honestly don't know what happened.
What did Skip Bayless say that set you off?
It wasn't even Skip. It was Colin Cowherd. And I walked past and I saw his NFL power rankings. And this man had the audacity, the straight up audacity
Jared's turned into Stephen A.
to put the Seahawks at 5th on his power rankings. And I stopped in my tracks. And I did a little bit of this because I couldn't believe that I had died and went to hell. Because that's where I was at when I saw the Seahawks at 5th. I
Are you
could
doing
not
a Stephen
believe
A.
my
impression?
no. This is how
You
I
sound
truly
like Stephen A.
feel.
Smith.
He put the Seahawks at 5th. I mean, he had. I can't remember for the life of me who were the first 4 teams because I just saw red.
Chiefs?
But I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs are number 1.
Ravens.
The Ravens were 4th on that list.
Packers.
The Packers were 3rd. Tampa Bay was 2nd.
Get out
Patriots.
of town.
Oh, never mind.
I think the Patriots like 6 on that list.
That's why you
They
don't
were-
watch
they were in
Colin
the back.
Cowherd, because he is the worst.
This man.
Have you seen his take about Carson Wentz?
Yeah,
Wearing his hat
that-
backwards?
Wait, I'm sorry. Excuse me. His take about Carson Wentz wearing his hat backwards.
yeah, that's a real take.
He wore his hat backwards in a press conference, saying Colin Cowherd thought it was the worst thing ever.
He basically said Carson Wentz is bad because he wore his hat backwards.
So everyone just posted different pictures of superstar quarterbacks wearing their hats backwards all day on Twitter.
Does this man not have any originality left?
No, he like
Well, was sports going so slow that day? He was like Carson Wentz. He's wearing his hat backwards. That's
He did
terrible.
that anyway. He did that before that. He's literally just like doesn't know what he's talking about.
If you want to talk about
I
how
will
bad,
die on the hill that Colin Cowherd is terrible.
if you want to go after Carson Wentz being a bad quarterback, there's how many games have he played in the NFL? I mean, I know he gets hurt a lot, but how many games have he played in the NFL? You can use literally any game that he has been playing in the last year and a half and say he's a bad quarterback. Not that he put his damn hat on backwards and he's a bad quarterback. That's not how this works.
There's the stat that Russell Wilson would have to throw like 43 straight interceptions to have a worse QBR than
Carson Wentz.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
I saw that too. And this man had the audacity to put Russell Wilson and his team at 5th in the power ranking. I don't
He also
understand
had
that.
Ben Simmons top 5 in his rookie year. So
Did this man not watch sports? I mean,
he's self-admitted he does not watch NBA, so he has other people make the list for him, and he acts like he knows.
ridiculous. Straight up ridiculous. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest because I saw that yesterday. And honestly, after everything that happened yesterday, and just the United States in general, that was probably the worst thing I saw. It wasn't what happened later that night. It was Colin Cowherd putting the Seahawks at 5th. That was the worst thing I saw last night. All right. Is there anything else in the NFL? I'm sorry.
One Titans player tested positive. All other tests were negative.
Okay. Well,
In Minnesota and Tennessee.
okay. That's good. That's good.
Does that take into account incubation period, do you think?
Well, it can't because it's 2 weeks.
But, like, what if it's been 2 weeks since they were exposed, and this is like...
Then we
Never
really
mind,
have
it
a
didn't make
problem
sense.
because they've played 2 games.
That's true.
That is the scary unknown part about the 2-week incubation period because you don't really know what's going to happen, right? I mean, God help us if they do go through, play Monday Night Football against the Steelers, and then something happens and more test positive. I don't want to think about what's going to happen there. Let's just hope that it's the NFL. They have a lot of money. Hopefully they can figure it out. Just throw a lot of money at it. Just see what happens. Throw a lot of tests at it. And we'll go from there. We'll take it day by day. Right now, NFL, I don't know if that is. NFL, I'm not going to care about that till Sunday because they don't have a game till Sunday. Wednesday, this is the day for baseball and basketball. So we'll get ready for that. So let's trade over from the NFL to the NBA. Lakers, Heat, Game 1. I believe the spread has went down now to Lakers 4.5. I think it was like Lakers like 6.
It was 5
4.
yesterday morning.
And it's 4.5 at least this morning when I checked like 30 minutes ago. So people are believing in the Heat. I believe the Lakers are the favorite, but the Heat are the fan favorite. So Vegas and the fans are at odds. As LeBron James gets ready for the Miami Heat. I think we all picked yesterday what we were looking at. I believe what Jack and I said Lakers in 6, David said Lakers in 5, I believe.
Mm-hmm. What about Jacob?
Well, this is where Jacob shows up and he's like, "All right, here I am."
Didn't I say when I left on Monday, I might have said something like crazy, like Heat in 6, but no. The Lakers are good, and the Heat are red hot, and it tempts me to pick the Heat, but I just can't pick against LeBron James and Anthony Davis right now. I just think that Davis is a little bit better. Not a little bit. He's a lot better than Bam. But what I mean by that is that matchup-wise, I think Davis is going to be able to control that matchup, and that's what is going to be so important in this series. So,
I thought you were giving me a compliment for a second. I was like, oh, thank you, Jacob.
No.
No.
Never.
No.
Never. I'll hold you to that.
I mean, when you have a team like the Lakers that's comprised of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then after that you have your best player. After those two, your best player in Caruso, and then
Kuzma, probably Kuzma, dog.
Okay.
Then Caruso,
Kuzma. I mean, you have all these. I take Caruso out of that when I say this. You have these well-known players that the Lakers have built around this team, and then you go to the Heat, and you have Jimmy Butler, and we've talked about it before, but a lot of the Heat players aren't household names. You got Jimmy Butler, and we know who Bam Adebayo is, and we know who Dragic is, and unfortunately, we know who Tyler Hero is, right? But other than that, I mean, this is the first time that the national scene has seen this Heat team. Was the Bucks series that? Oh snap! Look at this team right here. This is something. I'm sorry to bring that back up, Davis. Right, but hey, we got Antetokounmpo in the finals, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
We sure did. He's playing on the Lakers.
But now all I ever hear about is Giannis is leaving now, so I have to deal with that for another year.
Look, just enjoy it while you can. All right.
Well, he's staying, so
I don't know anymore. I couldn't tell you. It's up to
put money.
him.
I'll put $10 that he stays.
Well, Davis, hopefully we're not still doing this by the time he leaves. So that's the hope. Okay. But NBA Finals Game 1. Yesterday, Davis and Jack gave me their best defense of the Heat, trying to convince me. Not trying. I made them present the best statements that they could.
We did convince him.
That the Heat could win this game, because I just haven't heard anything convincing yet to say, yeah, I should pick the Heat other than, you know,
Are you're talking about the series or this game one?
series.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I think
I sat there and I watched LeBron James in that last game against the Nuggets. I mean, I saw that man absolutely pick apart that Nuggets defense. And I'm just sitting there in awe because LeBron James is looking like he's 21 out there. Just, it's crazy what he's still doing. And I don't know.
I guess if I had to make an argument for the Heat, it'd have to be Anthony Davis grabbing rebounds like he did in that. Yeah, I guess it was Game 5 against the Nuggets, and Bam Adebayo just dominates the boards and gets offensive rebounds as well. And then you have Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson kind of do their thing, but I don't think that the Lakers are going to allow that to happen. I think Davis is going to be back to his normal self, grabbing rebounds like crazy. And I think they're going to be able to really control how Robinson and Hero play. They won't be able to just take over a game like they have in the past. So that would be my argument for the Heat, is that Bam, Hero, and Robinson kind of take control of these games, and they're not able to be slowed down.
We'll see what happens in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. As, yes, it is the end of September, and it's the NBA Finals. As we're dealing with Major League Baseball Wildcard Series on top of the NBA Finals. And just to give a shout out to what's going on, the WNBA Finals start on Friday when the Seattle Storm take on the Las Vegas Aces. That game is at 7 Eastern on Friday. Do not ask me anything about that series, okay? If you ask me anything about that series, all I'm going to say is Breanna Stewart. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I got. She's
Think
good.
about it, though. If the NHL had the Stanley Cup Finals have been extended, we were going to have 3 playoffs, postseasons happening at the same time. Well, I guess 4 within WNBA.
Yeah.
An absolute chaos. I mean, it was funny because I'm sure we talked about on the show back in May, but who knows what we talked about on the show back in May.
I don't.
Yeah. About how crazy this fall was going to be with sports. And we were right, because I guess we're peaking right now, but I still feel like October's always crazy. And I'm not sure what exactly is going to be added to that. And then November, we've got football, and I guess all football will be back. And then
college basketball's late November, early December.
I don't know. We'll see. We probably peak now, but it's going to be a lot different because NHL and the NBA have to move back their seasons due to them being extended. So, man, I really hope the NBA tips off on December 25th, but I don't have my hopes high.
Yeah, that's We'll see. That's gonna be a tough one.
The good
Because
thing is we don't have that lull from, I guess, June, middle of June when the finals end until August when the NFL preseason comes back,
when it
and we're
was
just
nothing but baseball.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Don't
At
get me
least
wrong, love baseball, but need more than that.
this is why we gotta bring back the XFL. Okay, Dwayne, do your thing.
I'm not saying the Rock's doing that.
Uh, is there any word on that actually? Now I'm talking about it. There's no way they're playing
I,
next year. That's like a years away kind of progress kind of thing.
probably.
Okay, I just need my Battlehawks back in my life. Go Battlehawks. Uh, is there anything that we missed so far in today's show? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really want to talk college football until tomorrow because I got a lot of things to say, but I don't want to do that yet. Okay, we're continuing Georgia Hate Week. Jack, I know you're excited for that.
Yes.
But I personally don't have anything else, and I'm content on leaving this here because we got to go get ready for the Braves game. I got to get me to prepare for the Cardinals to probably get their face smashed in. But I also got to get prepared for the Yankees to end the Indians and to get my tweet ready for when the White Sox win.
That could be it. That'll be a game to watch today.
So I'm ready to end the show.
The extra point unanimously chose the White Sox to advance.
Yeah, who would have thought? I mean, dang. But
Well, I guess since we're gonna end the show, and I probably won't be on tomorrow. Reds in 2. Auburn by
don't do
2
it.
scores.
Don't do it. Oh,
Auburn
God.
by 2 scores.
He did it.
Hey, he's not going, Jared. Don't worry.
Well,
I was gonna say-
the one thing that I can thank God for COVID about is that Jacob cannot go to road games.
I mean, I can. I think there's tickets available.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
My bank account.
I
but-
will call up China and I'll make sure that your account gets hacked. I got connects. All right, don't you play me. I'm done playing around. I
Was
need
COVID
something good.
Was COVID the answer to the Hillman curse, or is Hillman curse the?
Don't
cause
you
of
understand,
COVID?
Davis? Don't you understand?
Let's
Don't you
see.
get it, Davis?
Wow, 100. It's only $185.
Only.
Wait, what? I don't. No, I might not get it now that y'all are saying.
Don't you understand how all this happened? How we are at where we're at right now?
The Hillman curse is COVID.
He broke the curse in 2020 happened.
Oh yeah, this is the snap. Forgot.
The Tennessee basketball game?
It was Turbo Jones hitting that 3. Like, you can see the video I have of it. You can just see when the camera's shaking, you just see the world just turning on its axis.
That is when, if we're going back
It's
to
retaliation.
if we're going back to infinite reality theory, okay, Davis, that is when we shift the world lines, okay? We went into an alternate reality of 2020 where eventually things started falling apart. First thing being is that I lost the All-Star game, and that's when I knew 2020 was going to be bad. And then, look at us now. It's all Jacob's fault, is what I'm saying.
So, Jared, you remember string theory?
Yes, I remember string theory.
So one of those other string is the Hillman curse that goes through dimensions like a wave, and that was broken. I think that's where we diverged.
Look, I don't want to get into theories right now.
The Hillman curse goes across dimensions in a wave form.
So I have a curse in every dimension.
Yes.
Yes.
But I guess you simultaneously broke it in all dimensions. Either you simultaneously broke it in all dimensions, so all Hillmans are cursed right now.
So if the curse is COVID, I probably should go to Georgia on Saturday.
What?
All right,
Is
we got
my
a doctor.
curse- Is my curse about road games like not a thing anymore?
There's
Think
only
that's
one.
what
There's
we're
only one way to find out. To be quite
We're in
honest.
a new. You're
Okay,
right.
so you can either
We're in a new dimension. So therefore,
No, we're in the
okay,
same
so-
dimension.
Oh, does that mean if I go to another road game and we lose, that COVID is canceled?
Theoretically, I guess.
Okay, so or you can think about it like this: if the Hillman curse goes across all dimensions, it is a dimension itself. So by breaking it, the universe is retaliating against you, but you cannot get rid of time, just as you cannot get rid of the Hillman curse.
So
It's still there.
Where's Doctor Strange when you need him?
I swear. This kind of sounds like Dave is just saying that I control everything.
No.
Hmm.
Everybody has their own Hillman curse.
Oh.
Yours is just. It's a cross-dimensional.
Me is saying that I won't abandon said thing, but then I eventually do because it inevitably happens at some point. So
Mine's probably writing the letter S or something. I don't know.
but forget theories, okay? My head already hurts. That's the reason why I don't want to go back to school, okay? And that's one of them. All right. Jacob, you want to test it out? Go to Athens. Let's see what happens. At best, the curse is actually broken, and Auburn still pulls out a win. At worst,
We have a double pandemic.
we have a double pandemic. So I'm going to put that on you.
Yeah,
all
you
right?
can decide, Jacob. Put the world in your
Oh,
hands.
no.
If you want COVID 2.0 or COVID 2 Electric Boogaloo, you know what to do. All right? I feel like Dr. Seuss up in this. All right? Does anybody have anything else they want to get off their chest before we leave? Anybody else need a rant or anything like that? We're good. Davis, you're good?
Yeah.
Jack, you're good?
I'm great, Jared.
Thank you, Jack. Jacob, you're good?
Ready for Saturday, as well as 3 hours from now. I guess 2 hours now.
Well, okay. Let's
Go
end it then.
Padres.
Don't you even start with that. But that does it for the Extra Point here on WEGL 911 and WEGLFM.com. Hey, if we broke any record today, we just went down as the shortest show that we've ever done before, coming in at about 52 minutes. So
It's a normal 1 hour show.
that's a normal 1 hour show. I mean,
Podcast film.
we're so used to doing 2 hour shows, or at least an hour
Make more-
30.
Make more sports people.
Yeah. Look, let's be honest, we're all tired. And there was baseball and basketball today. Tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be energetic, ready to go. Especially when Alex and his buffoonery gets into the chat. And then we'll see what happens there.
It'd probably be like either really tired or really mean, or both.
What's the difference? Alright, well.
He's like Max Kellerman to your Stephen A.
That does it for the Extra Point. I'm not even going to respond to that. That does it for the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and WEGLFM.com. If you want to watch more, make sure you catch us on the YouTube stream at 4:45 Eastern, 3:45 Central. The reason for those times is because YouTube apparently doesn't let you do top of the hour. So, sorry. And on top of that, if you want to catch the podcast, you can. The podcast being released at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central every single day. So it'll be ready for you in just a matter of hours, just in time for you to get some analysis on why you should probably be depressed about the Braves. So for Davis Carroll, Jacob Hillman, and Jack Hart, I'm Jared Dillard saying thank you for joining us at Extra Point here on WEGL 911 and WEGLFM.com.